Do you, Jack? So this one, we're just gonna start in honey hole. You guys can still do all three because these will chain really well together. Once I get here, and Jack starts to turn and turn his knee down to the mat, and he rotates, he steps over, boom. Now exactly. If I see this, I mean, I know that I can cup and I can go over the leg, get to honey hole position, I can free the leg and all this stuff. So in this particular case, I do want to free the leg because instead of reaping this top leg over, I'll open my shoulder, I'm actually going to reap in my inside leg. Okay, and what this does is it completely changes the direction of where we're going. So when I shoot out, I shoot back in with this leg. And this leg, as I pull, is going to go back into 50-50 or category C. I'm in 80-20 right now, but I simply just shot the bottom leg in and pulled him back into 50-50 position. It's just another option for you to think about when you're in honey hole, just to kind of add a few layers here is, you know, we don't have to necessarily keep reaping the leg over and over. If for whatever reason we get here, we're pulling, he steps over and I'm like, oh shit, and I grab the heel and I get locked in right here and I'm trying everything I can, I grab and I can't get up for some reason. And I'm like, I can free my leg and then I can shoot this in as I pull him this direction. And then we would have heel. And it'll be done. So you can add this little backside, so it's basically 50-50. You can find your way to backside 50-50 there, fit across the leg, but so now we're just adding another position to what we're already doing. Does that make sense? So it's really all it is just your bottom leg's leaving through, and you're pulling back.
Can you just go straight to 80-20 there, or is the angle a little bit?
You can go straight to 80-20.
I mean, sorry, 90-10.
You can go straight to 90-10 too. 90-10 too. So, you want, yeah, I know. Again, it's about where it's honestly, once you really start to really understand the 9 positions, you'll start to see like you can kind of dictate where you go once you get into a certain category. Right? I know if I've been hunting hole, I can do a knee bar, or I can just go back and go back and forth. So now I know knee bar. Same with a C position is I can go between those three. So you get here, you go here, I miss the knee line, he bounces over, I catch, and I'm like, boom, and I can't get this for some reason. I'll shoot this leg in, and then as I'm pulling him back, I'm just looking for the 90-10 thing. Woo! Right? And then we're done as soon as I wrap the heel up.
Wow.
Yeah, so yes, you certainly can. What I usually find is 80-20. But just realize when you're on that backside, and there's a lot of obvious calf compressions and all that there and slicers. I'm not a big believer in all that. They don't work. I've never seen one really work super high level. They are there, but I just don't play with them very much, and they're easily defended. So this is a better option, in my opinion. If that leg steps up, you can't reap over, you go under. Right? Over and under. So let's just add that one to the mix. Let's see how we go. One's good. I want to do something real quick just to kind of, so you can kind of see something. Real quick again. So we're going to continue one more step with this position. All right, so we're going to start from the very beginning. Have ankle lock, Ashi grounding position. Turns and he rotates. I switch to the top of the knee, hook, roll with him, boom, lift him this way. He turns the knee down, boom, I catch here. Now, before we were just reattaching here, going to the honey hole, or we're sliding into 50-50. But remember when I said I attach here, because sometimes things happen real quick. So I'm like, boom, and I'll line up here. And we're gonna play this real quick. We're gonna get here. What I want to start doing is we're gonna switch our knee slicer. So if I have my knee slicer on this side, it's my inside leg. I can't do much here besides attach the other leg or try to finish the slicer here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch and have like a double slicer here. Now all I'm doing is do this to switch my feet. I switch my feet and left. Again, I'm grabbing behind his knee. As soon as I grab behind my knee, I'm gonna pull and kick my leg straight. So I'm here, and I'm just gonna pull, kick my leg straight. Now I have his knee, up, punch through. If you were to somehow do a back step here and I let go, back to 90-10. So all we're doing here is, now we're not going to attack the other leg anymore. We're going to switch the slicer leg. Once we switch the slicer leg, it's a matter of getting up and holding the knee again. Capturing the knee. Sucking it all back in to pull him back in and kicking my leg straight. If you don't kick that bottom leg straight, and you contract, you pull your knees into your chest, he's not going to be in the right position. His knee needs to be next to my hips, the inside of my legs, not the outside. So, we're just going to start in honey hole. This is the first part. So in honey hole, I did a bad job controlling the knee line. He turns, boom, he gets here, I connect, I switch my knees. So now I have this outside leg is knee slicing. Reinforce, turn to my side to face the free leg. I sit up to reinforce, cupping through here. He's gonna have a very difficult time running from here. I'm just too attached. I'm blocking him off. Even if he tries to roll or tries to turn back and step back the other way, he's still gonna end up in 50-50 or in some kind of compromised leg position. So what we're gonna do though, part is gonna stay up. We're gonna pull. I need to get his knee here. Somebody that's bigger and stronger, you can't just pull them, right? But I am going to use my back and everything to pull all together as I kick this leg straight. And that means I have a little bit of give here to where I can make it pull him back in. So when I get here, my bottom leg starts to kick straight, so I don't have to go as far. Now when I get him in, I suck him back in. All right? There's different leg configurations we can play with, but essentially I want his knee here. If his knee's over here, so we're right back to this position again. I'm gonna do it over again. I bend the leg so that he can't run anymore. My bottom arm posts it to the ceiling. So I have a little triangle here. And I punch through. The reason why I do it this way is so that I don't have to let go of anything. If I'm like here, and I'm like here, and then I'm like trying to get up, right? It's just an easy handoff, boom. Even if I just let go here, and I just sit up, it goes right where it's supposed to go, right? There was never a time for him to like get this leg down. Because that's kind of his defense. He takes a step back here. So a step back would end up in double outside ashi, which is okay. Not the end of the world, but I have a really good position. So all we're doing is just switching the knee slicing across the back, control the heel, get the knee. Like sit up and grab it, and just pull him back in. You'll be at backside 50-50. So that would be 5 positions. Cool. Let's do that. A good example of this would be we're gonna land in honey hole. Oh hey. So we're gonna land in honey hole position, and a lot of times what happens here is. Remember when I said like the importance of being on your side here and having the control aspect of honey so you can't go forward? This is still a great position, you know, by attacking. This is great. But in doing this, we're having a little bit of a compromise here. Like I'm giving up a little bit of his control of his movement. If you don't have a good understanding of leg locks and you don't control this foot, he's able to bend it. And that's where the problem starts to come into play. If you're old school and you used to play with knee bars a lot, you'll see this all the time. You're trying to get the knee bar, you're like this, and he spins the leg, and you're like, oh shit, and he climbs on top. Right? You're like, oh no, and he's like climbing up, and you're like, ah, and he sprawls. And he sprawls and he passes. And he passes your guard, which is, it's not allowed here. So, so this is what we're going to deal with, because in all those things, all those movements we just did, this can actually happen while that's happening. Like he just suck his leg in and then sprawl up on top of you. And most people panic and they give up. They're like, oh, and they just abandon and they try to get back to the guard or something. Don't abandon it, because we're going to reset. So, let's do this side, because my neck hurts on the other side. So, look at that, we're going to circle right there. Let's keep going. All right, so we're here. I'm gonna lose control of the leg. He's gonna bend it. He's gonna climb on top. First things first. I already know I've lost it because of this, and his weights are coming forward. So at this point, you should be like, "Oh shit, I'm losing it." So we have to address how we're gonna manage it. First thing is I cannot allow the cross face. As a general rule, Mallory made a good point the other day. He's like, just never allow a cross face, ever. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you're flat on your back. You just don't allow the cross face, and you can move. So that means immediately, at this point, that's all I care about. He comes cross, boom. And I'm going down, that's okay. I stop the cross face, and if you notice with my foot here, I'm gonna hook his foot. Now what this does is it impedes the sprawl, because some guys like to sprawl really hard here. Doesn't mean you can't, it just means it's gonna be actually kind of difficult. You can try sprawling right here, and it's gonna be like, it's a little weird, right? Because I'm hooking the foot. Now what this allows me to do is get up, right? So I'm here, I got good space. Now see, you have my butt to the ceiling. So we're gonna do you have two options here. One is I'm gonna go between his legs, and the other one is I'm gonna go between my legs. And those are dictated between, usually, the guy's much bigger than me. If the guy's much bigger than me, I go between my legs. If it's equal, lesser, I go between their legs. Going between their legs actually gives me a bit more of control. Going between my legs is a little less control, but I'm on the outside. I'm not being smashed anymore, right? So you're gonna see what I'm talking about in just a second. So to make this easy, he's gonna put that knee down and completely out here like this. Now this looks really not that great for me. It's actually really good. As soon as my butt comes up, I'm here. I notice on my shoulder, a lot of people make the mistake of like trying to like do this extra step and look this way and roll. And they do that because they want to get a knee bar from turtle position. That's not what we're doing. So I stay here looking at his belly button. And then I'm gonna take my hand. So the first one is I'm gonna go underneath, in between his legs. That's what I'm targeting. Once I'm on my shoulder, my hand can reach and put it on the outside of his leg. As I go upside down, I'm gonna reach and get here. Now, again, this doesn't seem like it's like I have a lot, but I have a really good pendulum here that I can start using to move. And I have both his legs. So as we go, oh, yeah, just land right back in honey. Actually surprised myself. I didn't think that would work. Not serious. So that's going between his legs. If you notice, there was no like all that stuff, like trying to. Oh yeah, it's none of that. It's just having proper form, right? It's getting my butt to the ceiling, and then going just diving through. Okay, this is actually a quick move. It's not good or slow, so you can see it. But in a real roll, as soon as that breach, I automatically go to it. Right? And then they go back over. So in the honey hole, I didn't control the leg. He's coming up. I'm like, shit. Boom, boom. I already got it. I got a hook and I got a cross face. Now the second one is going between my legs. This seems to be the one that everybody has the most difficult time with. Is I'm going to come up like so. And I'm going to put my butt to the ceiling. See, I'm going to go through my legs. I got all the space. Don't be like this with your knees pinched. You're not going to be able to go. So I'm going to open my legs. I'm going to hook to his leg. And, you know, Jack will keep his base, and he'll just post his arms when I go underneath. Watch. See how I'm like on the outside now? I'm not bearing his weight. Now what I want you to get the habit of doing is, this free arm is just going to cup the big toe. And I'm going to pull him across my body. Boom. Right? That's it. The toe guides his body back to honey hole. Okay, so anytime you can drag a leg across your body, I mean, you can really, it's like holding somebody's neck. Whichever the neck, you know, they go to where their head goes, right? It's the same with the knee, unless they don't care about your knee. So, so you drag, Cam doesn't care about her knee, you know? So you drag it across your body, it's gonna go this way. You drag it across the body, it's gonna go that way, right? So that's all we're doing. So one is I'm going between his legs, the other one is I'm going between my legs. I'm not doing a head switch, if you noticed. It's just an extra step. I just keep looking, I keep going this direction, right? And I'm sliding under the hips. If for some reason they pull back or something like that, then you don't need to do it. Because you just pull a guard. You got a guard there. Right? They're just giving you way too much space. This is really good for somebody that's aggressive, driving forward, right? So if I'm here, and he bends the leg, comes up, something like that. Depending on how he moves, you know, it's always going to be a leg entanglement. But if you notice, I just went under and it reset the leg entanglement. I didn't get past, I didn't get crushed. It just naturally happens. As long as you get that butt to the ceiling and you spin underneath, you're fine. You do it's called, I basically call it the reset. The reset factor. The reset factor. Yeah. And so you'll find this in all these positions. All B category, you can do this. Like a failed knee bar, you do this. A failed honey hole, you do this. And these are, you just keep her in. I was telling to people today in class, like I will actually go to this position. This is one of my attacking positions because I've gotten so confident in the position itself. Jack is like staying on his knees and playing like a guard here, and I'm like this, and I'll come in like this, and I'll shoot in. You can't stay up because they're not gonna fall. I'll stand like this and I'll go boom, and now I got honey hole. In my mind, I have honey hole. And I'm like, oh, I got you, right? And then they usually drive really hard forward. Just shoulder roll. Remember, don't go over your neck, just go over your shoulder, right? No neck. Okay, good.
You're using their momentum to make it easy.
Easy, yes.
Because they're trying to push into you.
Correct.
So you just.
Yep. That's why I said this works very well with somebody that's more aggressive. You know, like driving, like when we do reverse X and all those attacks. Somebody's just like really holding on to you. I mean, most people are. So. Yeah, I mean, unless somebody's real savvy with leg locks, they never like, oh shit, like that. And they try to go away, right? But most people are gonna be like grabbing your hip, hunkering in.
Did you say that?
Sometimes. Not all the time. But so try this, and we'll do this for a little bit. It's just a good thing to learn. As you really get good at this, you'll probably just go to the position, even though it's a bad position, because you'll just have confidence in it. Cool.
That's cool.